Welcome back to BHM University. I'm Jake with Broadway Home Medical, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Inogen G4 portable oxygen concentrator. So let's get into it. First thing, you're going to want to make sure you've got something sharp to open your box with, and we're going to just kind of cut along the edges here, and then kind of pull back and cut down the middle. Just make sure we don't cut anything that might be underneath the top of our box. So when we open the box, we're going to have on top your owner's manual. You're going to make sure and store this in a safe place. This is going to have your guide for using your machine as well as warranty information. It comes with a 7-foot nasal cannula. There's a little insert in here that talks about the Inogen Connect app. We will cover this in a separate video, so for now we're just going to set that aside. Then there's a little tray on top here, and inside of this tray we're going to have our car charger, so you can charge your machine while you're out and about. We have our wall charger for charging your unit when you're at home. There's a shoulder strap here that will connect to the machine so you can carry it around a little bit easier. And then we have our battery. The unit we have here is what they call the single battery or 4-cell, and it does have a nice little indicator on here you can push that'll show you what the battery charge is, so you can see out of the box we don't have much of a charge, but should have enough to at least do a demo on this machine. And Inogen does ship their machines in some pretty heavy-duty bubble wrap here to keep your unit protected while it's in transit. Connect the battery to the machine, basically just slides in on these two little rails right here, and once you get it connected you should hear a little beep, and then there's a little film on top of the screen here. We'll remove that so we can get a better view of what goes on when we turn the machine on here. To power on your unit, just going to hold down the power button and release it. Then we're going to have our machine boot up here. You see the Inogen logo. It tells you right now we're at a setting of 2. It says please wait here while it's booting up. So we do have low battery here, so we're going to go ahead and plug in our charger. Just going to remove the little twist ties that are attached to it here. And I'm going to plug in the power cord into our wall outlet. The other end of the power cord is going to go into your charging brick. And then on the back of the unit we have this little port right here that our charger is going to plug into. Alright, so to cycle through the settings on the machine, we just have these plus and minus buttons here. Out of the box it came set to 2. This is a 1 to 3 pulse dose unit. What pulse dose means is that this is only going to give you oxygen every time you take a breath. So you will need to be able to breathe deep enough in order to trigger this machine. Typically your doctor will do some testing with you to determine if this is an appropriate machine for you. And if it is, then they may write you a prescription for it. So, on this display here, there's also a little bell icon with a little cross through it that lets you know that the alarms for this machine are turned off right now. To turn that back on, just hold that down for a few seconds and release, and now we have our alarms on. To use the machine here, you have your nasal cannula, and it's going to go right onto this port right here. So we're just going to take the female end on our nasal cannula and attach it to the machine. I find it easier to kind of thread this as you push down. Just make sure you're not getting your tubing kinked up and causing any obstructions there. It's a lot easier to do that than it is just to kind of push it and force it down. And the same goes when you're needing to change your cannula out. It's kind of twist as you pull up, and that makes it easier to remove. So let's see, so as far as maintenance on the machine goes, there is a little mesh screen right here. You'll want to clean this depending on how often you use it, sometimes up to once a week. We're basically just going to make sure that there's no dust, dirt, debris getting built up on the outside of the screen, because this is where it's pulling air in out of the room to generate the oxygen. To remove the screen, just push down on this little tab and pull it forward. And then whatever side it was facing out, you're just going to want to keep that facing down. Rinse this out with water and then just kind of pat it dry. You don't need to use any soap or solutions when it comes to that. And then just reinsert it and you're good to go. The Inogen G4 is one of the lightest machines on the market. It comes in weighing at just 2.8 pounds. With the standard battery, if you do opt to upgrade to get the double battery, it's going to be a ½ pound heavier at 3.3 pounds, which is still going to make this one of the lightest machines on the market. Speaking of the double battery, we happen to have one right here. So we'll open that up just to kind of give you a comparison on the size difference between the two. So we're going to go ahead and turn that alarm off, because basically right now the machine is alerting us that it's not detecting a breath. So it's kind of a safety thing if you're not breathing deep enough to trigger the machine. After a little while, what it'll actually do is it'll alarm and tell you no breath detected, but it actually starts auto pulsing oxygen out. So if you're not breathing deep enough to trigger the machine, it'll still deliver oxygen to you. So as we mentioned, we have the standard battery, or the 4-cell. It's kind of comparison-wise, this is the double battery, or the 8-cell. So it's about twice as thick, and it's going to effectively double the runtime of your machine. So with the standard battery, you can get up to 3 hours per charge. With the double battery, you can get up to 6 hours per charge. So, if you are going to opt to purchase an extra battery, Inogen does also have an external battery charger for this machine that will make it easier to keep your batteries charged up. And while you're cycling through batteries, you're not going to have to plug it into your machine and then charge it and wait for it to get to a full charge before you use it. It allows you to keep your batteries charged and ready to go when you're ready to go. So this is essentially the external charger here. You're going to have a power supply that will plug into, almost dropped that one, into the charger. And then your power cord is going to plug in on the back. And your battery is going to plug in similar to how it does on the machine. Just slide through these little rails right here. If I can line that up. And you'll hear a little click when you have it in place. This will have lights that turn on to kind of indicate where you're at in the charging process. And when your battery's charged and you're ready to use it, just depress that little tab and then slide it out. And then you should be good to go. So, let's see. So the machine does come with the shoulder strap like we mentioned. And you can attach this directly to the unit itself. There's a couple little anchor points right here that you can just clip this on. And then you can use this to, let me unplug our guy here, sling this up over your shoulder to make it easy to transport around. They do also include a carrying case. And with this, you can, let me get our machine all set back up here. Just make sure when you put this in the carrying case that we're putting it in with the port facing towards the cutout there, so you have access to charge it when you need to, so you don't have to take it out of the case every time you're charging it. You'll notice on the back there's two different buttons here that you can snap into. The top button is for if you have a double battery, so you have a little more room here. The bottom button is for the single battery. And now you have access to your charging port. So, here you can reattach the shoulder strap. There's two little clips here on the back that you can clip this to. It also does come with a belt clip, so if you wanted to, you can just attach this right on your belt and carry it on your hip. If you want, if you find that carrying it over one shoulder is either too much weight on one shoulder or just maybe a little clumsy for you, Inogen does have a backpack that they make for the machine that has a little compartment here that's designed for the machine to fit into. It also allows you to carry other items if you want to carry your chargers, accessories, or pretty much whatever you'd like. There's a big open main pocket here with a little divided mesh area in the back. So, yeah, let's see. So, I mean, really, I think that's all about there is to it. I mean, the Inogen G4 is it's a really solid machine. It is the lightest on the market. Inogen does have a good warranty with this machine as well. They also make this something that's somewhat easy to service in the field. I mean, if you have battery issues, changing your battery out, it's just as simple as pulling the clip, taking this out, putting a new battery in. Also, the most common problem with these machines over time is the sieve columns, which the sieve columns are basically what filters out the air to produce the oxygen. Similar to other Inogen units, these are able to be changed out in the field. There's a little D-ring here that's attached to these sieve columns that we're going to pull out. Depress that little tab back, and then you can just pop these out. Your new ones will come with a couple of little tabs here, or caps you'll need to remove. Then just pop them in. And then there's a reset process you have to go through whenever you change your columns out. We'll mention, or we'll go over that in another video, but it's a pretty simple process, and they do include instructions with your replacement columns on how to do that. So, yeah, really think that's all there is to it. Again, you know, Inogen One G4 is a really solid unit. Anybody who's looking for a really lightweight portable concentrator that falls within that 1 to 3 pulse setting range, this is definitely a unit to look at. So I appreciate you guys watching. Jake with Broadway Home Medical. Hope you learned something. If you did, please like and subscribe for more content, and we'll catch you next time.